great to be back. We're not recording from a regular location due to the war, and a bit shorter. Normally, Iram Chamish published from does not have a mamad nearby, so it's great to be back. It's been a week of Purim, weddings. Eventually we're back, so it's good to be here. Lovely to see you all. So we are on Brochos, Daf Mem Gimel Amud Beis. We're at the very top of the page. So Brochos Mem Gimel Amud Beis, first line on the page. All right, let's take it away. Sorry about the background. I hope it doesn't bother you, that light thing. Rav Gidl Rav says, Rav Gidl in the name of Rav. Chai Samelek. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Smalek. Not Amalek. Similar. Smalek. One letter away from Amalek. So Smalek. Rashi says it's Yasmin. Jasmine. In Arabic they call it jasmine. So it's probably today's jasmine, but it might be something slightly different. So what bracha do you make on smelling jasmine? You say on it Bayrei Atzei Psomim, a tree, that he made a tree that smells good. So Amar Chananel, Amarav, Hani Chalfi Dimo. So what's this Chalfi Dimo? Rashi says it's Shibayris Naird, some type of nard tree. It's Kain. Rashi says, Givoili Pishton. It's like the stalk of flax. So basically it's hard, even though it's not a tree, but it's a hard flower, nard. Because it's hard, you say Bari Atzeb Samim. Even though it's with fruit, the category is different. It's considered a tree with eating fruit if it's got a stem, a bark, and the fruit grows every year. There's new fruit every year. But here, even if it doesn't grow every year, the din is that you say Atzei Psalmim. Okay. What does the pasuk mean? Where do we get this from? It says, Vihi halesim hagina v'titamnem bepishte ha'etz. So the Gemara is learning from here that since it's hard, you say bar pe'etz. Rav Meshashia Omar says, Rav Meshashia, Hai narkum degonisa. This narkum. So what's narkum? Rashi says, Chavtzeles ha'sharain. The rose of the sharain, the rose that grows in the north. The sharon is the north, so it means probably some say it means hibiscus, a flower that will grow in the northern part of Israel. So what bracha do you make on it? It's soft, and therefore you say atzei psamim. Sorry, it's hard. It's hard, so you say atzei psamim. The davra, sorry, 1 minute, back up. If this narkum grows in a garden, so you say bayrei atzei psamim, because it's hard. The davra, if it grows in a desert, you say bayrei isbei psamim. It's soft, and therefore you say isbei psamim. So you see the same species, depending on where it grows. If it's hard, you say atzei. It's a tree. There's like a hard stalk there. If it's soft, you say isbei psamim. Omer of Sheshas says of Sheshas, Hani Sigli. What bracha do you make on Sigli? Now, if you remember Sigli, that's the stuff that in the Chumash, so the story of Leah, that she went out to get Sigli, and Rachel bought it for the Dudaim, Rashi says. And she bought it for her. Rachel bought the Dudaim she switched to be with Yaakov for the Dudaim, right? That's Sigli, Rashi says. So what is this Sigli? Segol means purple. So literally, and Rashi says, you take a look in Rashi, Sigli vioilish. Probably that means violets. right? Violets. It's the colors violet, purple. So that's probably what Segel, purple, violets, violish. So what bracha do you make on these violets? So you say, Boirei ispe b'samim. Ispe is supposed to atzei. Someone that smells the esrog or a chavush. It's a different type of fruit. Amar, you say, but the bracha baruch, blessed is he, shenosan reach toif bepeirit. That's the bracha you make. Baruch shenosan reach toif bepeiris. Amar, you don't say aseh b'samim, isbe b'samim. You say, thank you Hashem for making a good smell. Now take a look in Taisus. Taisus, the third Taisus over here. Haman the marach besroiga v'chavusha mavarach. Rashi said, Taisus says, only if you go in to smell the esrog, you want to take a good smell from your apple or from your lemon. You breathe it in, then you say bracha. But if you come to eat a lemon, of course you smell the fruit. You're about to eat a lemon, you're going to smell it. But then you don't say a bracha. You only make a brachas achila. So Tais is saying, you have to be intentionally smelling the fruit to have to make a bracha. Interesting. Where does he get this from? He doesn't say. But Taisus. Omer Rav Yehuda, says Rav Yehuda, hi man, the nafik b'yom Nisan. A guy goes out in the streets in Nisan, the first month of the year. And he sees the trees blossoming. I should say, Blessed is he that there's nothing missing in this beautiful world. And you made these beautiful creations, and beautiful trees, that people should enjoy, B'nai Adam. So that's a bracha you make in Nisan when you see the blossoming trees. How do you know you make a bracha on reach? In other words, when you eat something, food's going into your body, you make a bracha. But how do I know you make a bracha when you smell something? You smell the good flour. Why should you make a bracha? Mechades, you make a bracha. Shenemar, it says in the pasuk, Koila neshama ta'aleliyah. The pasuk in Tehillim, David said, on every breath we praise Hashem. And therefore, what is the dovash neshama nenes memenu? What is a thing that your neshama, his soul, enjoys? Ve'ena guf nene memenu, but your body doesn't enjoy. Hevayim ezareach. There's something very unique about smell that your neshama enjoys. Your soul, you breathe in, you get an enjoyment from it, but your body doesn't get anything from it. You physically have nothing from it, but your neshama enjoys it. That's smell. And kol neshama ta'aliyah, you praise Hashem. So it's interesting. It doesn't say that your neshama is not nana from food. It could be your neshama is just as nana from food. But this is something that only your neshama is nana from, it says. Your body's not nana from it, kol neshama. I always thought that the parshas was that your neshama is only nana from smell and not from food. The implication is that this thing is with smell only your neshama is nana, your body's not nana. In the future, the Yiddish Bachrim, they'll give off a good smell like the Levonin. Shenemar Yelchu in Kaisa Vihika Zayis Haydu V'reach like Alvonin. Okay. Another memra of Razutra Batuvia. Amarav Maidich said, what does it mean? Esakol Osi of a Be'itoi. Hashem made everything good Be'itoi in its time. What does that mean? What's the pasuk coming to tell me? Hashem made everything good Be'itoi in its time. Melamed. Shekal Echad Ve'echad Yofel Ekos Baruch of Nosi Befanav. Yipel Ekos Baruch of Nosi Befanav. Hashem makes for each person his job good in his eyes. So in other words, Rashi explains this. You have a guy who does plumbing, Other people would never be a plumber. They go into someone's drains and sewage and I don't know what. So Hashem gives everyone different personalities and different needs and different things that they enjoy. Because if everyone enjoyed the same thing, we'd all be opera singers, right? no one would fix your air conditioning system. So Hashem gives everyone different skills and different desires, so the world can function properly. That's a kol asa yafa b'itay. Hashem gave everyone in His time. Everything's beautiful. It's a big question. Why is there so much diversification in the world? Why are there so many different types of flowers, so many different types of trees? Why didn't Hashem just make everything the same? Because everything has a different function. If we'd all be the same, if we'd all look the same, we'd all think the same, we don't want to be plumbers. They don't want to be electricians. So Amar of Papa, Hainadam Inchi, Talale Kra, Kaira Ladava Acher, Viyu Didei Ovid. This is the thing that people say. I don't think they say it anymore. People used to say this. I'm not sure exactly what the nimshal is, but it means that the soft part of the palm tree, they would tie around the pig, around his neck, and he does his thing. He runs around in the mud, he runs around in the garbage, this pig, with this piece of wood around its neck, with palm, and it gets dirty. Okay. In other words, everyone does what he wants to do. There's a guy doing your sewage, and he enjoys it. People work with different materials that smell, that are rough, that are hard. Some people do different jobs you never want to do. But you do it. Your goof brings you in the shower, and I'm not sure what the nimshal is, but okay. Now, another member of Rezutra Batuvia. We spoke before about going 2 people out at night, or 3 people out at night. So he said, Avuka Kashnaim, a flame, is like 2 people. V'yoreach, if there's a moon, full moon, I guess, it's like 3 people. Ibaile. So they asked, Avuka Kashnaim, when it says that a flame is like 2, Bahadi Didei, or Duma Avuka Kashnaim Levame Didei, is a flame like 2, including him or besides him? In other words, if you were there with a flame, now you've got 3, me and the flame is 3, me plus 2, or it's me plus 1, it's total 2. So the gemorah is going to prove it. Tashma. It says the moon is like 3. If you're going to say that the 3 is besides for him, what do you need 4 for? 3 you need. 3 is good to have. We saw before that 3 is better than 2 and 2 is better than 1. In other words, mazikim who are out there, it says there'll be mazik a person when he's by himself. If he's with someone else, 2 people, he'll see them, but they won't be mazik him. 3 people, they won't see him, they're not mazik him, nothing happens. So it says the moon is like 3. So it means obviously 3 with the person, because if it can't mean 3 plus the person 4, what do you need 4 for? 4, there's a benefit to having 4. 3, once you're 3 people, you're good, you're covered. So the gemorah says, the gemorah says, if there's one person, he sees the demons, and they can harm him. L'shnayim, if there's 2 people near Ve'ena Mazik, they'll see it, but it won't be Mazik them. L'shloisha, if there's 3 people, Eina near Kalika, 3 people don't even see the Mazikim. Ella, La Shmamena, Vuka Kashnayim Bahadi Didei Ma Shmamena. You see from here that when it says that the flame is like 2, it means with the guy. Together, you and a flame is like 2. In other words, if it's light out, it's like there's 2 people. You go outside, and there's light outside, I guess. Big Malchai said this, but it'd be more comfortable for you to throw yourself into a burning fire, not to embarrass someone. So, it'd be more comfortable for you to throw yourself into a burning fiery flame than to embarrass someone. Shenema hi mutzeis. The famous story with Yehuda and Tamar, that she knew who got her pregnant. Yehuda got her pregnant, but she didn't want to embarrass him. So she didn't say they're taking it out to be burnt at the stake. And she didn't say it's from Yehuda, which would save her life. She sent him simonim, she sent him a remez, she sent him the psil and the whatever it was, the stick. She said, whoever this belongs to, he's the father of the baby that she's carrying. So when he saw it, Yehuda said, Tzadka Meni, he said, yeah, she's right. But it was better for her. She's like, she'll throw herself into a fiery sreifa, not to embarrass Yehuda. Ton Rabbanon, Heviu lefon of shemen v'hadas. They bring in front of a guy oil and hadas. Hadasim. B'shamay mevarach al shemen v'achach mevarach al hadas. You first make a bracha going to b'shamay on the oil. We're talking about some type of parmesan oil, some oil that smells good. They used to wash their hands with after the meals with this oil that had a good reach to it, right? So they bring in this oil and hadasim. So Beisham says you first make a bracha on the oil. Then you make a bracha on smelling the hadas. So for the oil, we said you make a shenaysin reach teiv b'shemen, something like that. Shemen, what was it? Sorry, you say Bayri Shemen Orev for oil. Bayri Shemen Orev, that was the gemorah says. So you first make this Bayri Shemen Orev, and then you make a bracha on hadas. You say Bari Atzei P'samim. Beisil Oimer Mevarach al hadas v'achach Mevarach al Shemen. You first make a bracha on hadas, and then you make a bracha on the oil. Amar Rabbi Gamliel, says Rabbi Gamliel. Now normally we pass like Beis Hillel, this is uncontested. Says Rabbi Gamliel, Ani achriya shemen zachinu l'reichai. Sorry, Ani achriya. Rabbi Gamliel says, I'm going to end this dispute. Shemen zachinu l'reichai v'zachinu l'sichasai. With oil, we smell oil, and we rub our hands in oil. It's got a dual function. Hadas l'reichai zachinu. For hadasim, we have the oil, we have the smell. We don't use it for rubbing, we don't use it for bathing and for smearing. So in other words, he's saying that this is much better. Oil's better than hadas, so therefore that comes first. We pass like the machriya, we pass like Beis Shammai in this case. Rav Papa story, Rav Papa comes to the house of Rav Huna, Berei Ravika. They put in front of him shemen and hadas. Shakal Papa Baruch Hadas Beishas. What did he do? He made a bracha first on the hadas, like Beis Hillel, and not like the machriya, Rabbi Gamliel and Beis Shammai. V'hod the Baruch Hashemen, and then he made a bracha on the shemen. Amalei, they said to him, you don't poll, like we said, you're passing like the machriya, like Rabbi Gamliel. What are you doing? Why are you making a bracha first on the hadas? Amalei, hachi amar Rava, halacha Beis Hillel. Rava said halacha is like Beis Hillel. You're right, Reb Chaim said halacha is like Beis Shammai. But Rava says halacha is like Beis Hillel. This is the most incredible gemorah. It's unbelievable. And you'll see from here how they didn't hide anything. Chazal, they said everything. They weren't embarrassed. They didn't try to cover anything up. There was no games. When it had to be said, they said it. That's according to one opinion, how you read the Gemara at least. The Gemara says, V'lohi, l'shtemuti nafshei Yehuda Ovid. This thing that he said, or Papa said, is not true. He only said it to get out of a sticky situation. He made a mistake. He did like Beis Hillel. He didn't know the din that you do like Beis Shammai. And to get out of it, he made up something in the name of Rava. That Rava said, he made up that Rava said halachas like Beis Hillel. He pulled it out of his pocket. He made it up. V'lohi. That's one way to understand the Gemara, at least. That's the pashtus. Now there's a different gear, so that isn't guys v'lohi, that it's not true. He never said that. It doesn't say v'lohi. It's true. Rava said it. Or that he holds the halachas, he really holds the halachas like Beis Hillel. But l'shtemut nafshi is someone is saying, what's going on here? How could he lie? How could he make up this story? So what they explain is that this story happened in front of Talmud Chachamim and Amaratzim, and he didn't want them to think we don't pass like Beis Hillel usually. So he said we pass like Beis Hillel in order that the Amaratzim should understand. And then afterwards he told them that, yeah, no, I made it up, just that the Amaratzim shouldn't make a mistake, but really, I didn't know that there's a din that we pass like Beis Shammai over here. In other words, he's the one that said V'lahi. he clarified the statement afterwards. That's what the gemorah means. He said, he came out and said that's why he did it. It's a fascinating gemorah. Toner Bonner. He will if name Shemin Vayayi, and they bring in front of him oil and wine. So now we've skipped the hadas, we've passed hadas. Now they bring in front of him oil and wine. You hold in your right hand the oil, and the wine you put in your left hand. You first make a bracha on the oil, then you make a bracha on the wine. No. You hold the wine in your right hand, and the oil in your left hand. You first make a bracha on the wine, then on the shemen. So machlokes, which one goes in which hand? What bracha do you make first? Then the Gemara says something interesting. Now you got to rub the oil in the head of the shamash. The shamash is this guy who's serving, who's helping them. He's got to rub his hands. He's got to clear the oil, and he should do it on the head of the shamash. If he's a Talmud Chacham, he can't do that. So you rub your hands in the wall. Why? Why, if he's a Talmud Chacham, can you not rub it in his hat? Unfortunately, he's talking about his hat. They had some type of nice furry hat. This oil has got a good smell to it. And it's a bizayon for a Talmud Chacham to walk out. It's disgraceful for a Talmud Chacham to walk into the street with perfumed up. What is why are you dressed? Why are you perfumed up? You're a playboy? What's going on over here? So a Talmud Chacham shouldn't be wearing perfume. Toner Bonner. The rabbis taught us. Now we're going to learn 6 things that Talmud Chacham has to do, which are not expected from most people, but for Talmud Chacham, he has to act like this. It's disrespectful. It's derogatory for a Talmud Chacham to do. Talmud Chacham shouldn't be perfumed when he goes outside. In your house, you can wear perfume. But to go out into the street, where people see you and smell you, not good. Talmud Chacham shouldn't be walking around at night by themselves. It looks dodgy. What's this guy doing in the middle of the night walking around? People don't like chayva. You shouldn't go with shoes all patched up, torn and sewn up, clothes and shoes, even shoes. You shouldn't be in the marketplace talking to women. People think there's some monkey business going on over there. People be done like chayv. And you shouldn't sit down in a party, the bar. You shouldn't go to a pub with a bunch of amorats and people who don't know the Torah. You shouldn't be hanging around with them. The Mepharshim thing is going to pick up their ways. He's going to start talking lashon hara like them and learn from them. You should be talking to Talmid Chacham. You shouldn't be late to come to shul. They explain to mean late to come to Beis Medrash. He shouldn't be running. You shouldn't run in the street. I didn't see anyone saying this, but it could be it's connected to the previous thing. If you shouldn't come late, so maybe he's going to run. Why shouldn't you run? Because it's dangerous. You run, you bang into people, you knock stuff over, you can trip. It's dangerous. Why are you running? Well, a person should be calm, and why is he running? So since it said you shouldn't come late, the guy's going to be running. No. You shouldn't be running either. You shouldn't walk around very straight, arrogant, with your head up. You shouldn't walk with Komas Kufa. Okay. Well, says, you shouldn't go when he's perfumed into the market. Amar of Ava, Bered of Chia, Barabba, Amar of Yechanan. When does this apply? When should a man not wear perfume? So it said, in a place where people are over the Aveir of Mishkal Zachar, where men are sleeping with other men, he shouldn't wear perfume. Rashi explains why. Because people will think that he's trying to attract other men. Why else would he be wearing perfume? He's wearing perfume, he wants to attract other men. And it's people be done with chayv. People assume that this guy is up to no good. When you know what perfume that's on your clothes, if you put it on your body, then the sweat gets rid of it. What about putting perfume on your hair? It's like clothes. Some say, no, it's like your body. In other words, some say hair is muta, some say hair is asa. He shouldn't go out at night by himself. It doesn't look good. People will think you're up to no good. Talmud Chacham walks around at night, where's this guy going to? He looks dodgy. That's only if he doesn't have a regular shir he's going to. He's got his regular chabura. But if he's going to his regular shir chabura, there's nothing wrong with it. People know he's going to his regular thing. You shouldn't go out with torn shoes. It's a disgrace for Talmud Chacham to go out with torn clothes or patched up clothes. Reb Chaim himself did go out with sewn up shoes, patched shoes. When is it a problem? When it's patched and then patched again on top of it, a double patch. But if it's just sew up a shoe one time, there's nothing wrong with that. But you've sewn it and you've sewn it, you keep sewing it, it looks disgraceful. When is it a problem? In the front of the shoe that everyone sees. But the back of the shoe, the gildas are by the heel. No one sees it there, it's fine. It's only a problem to us to go out with patched in the front in the street. But to go in your house with your slippers, it's fine. It's only a problem in the summer. Everyone sees your shoes. When it's raining, I guess it's muddy, people don't see your shoes. There's nothing wrong with that. This Talmud Chacham shouldn't be talking to women in the street. Reb Chaim says even if it's his wife, shouldn't talk to her in the street. Even if it's his wife, even if it's his daughter, even the sister, not everyone knows this is your wife, not everyone knows this is your sister. The guy sitting down in the bar talking to this woman, he's a Talmud Chacham, people think you're just talking to a random woman. No, we're talking about Talmud Chacham, it doesn't mean anyone else. Talmud Chacham. You shouldn't sit down with Amarat. Say, my time he's going to follow in their ways. That's why you shouldn't go to a bar and hang out with Amaratzim. He shouldn't come to shul late because people say he's a sinner. What exactly is going on over here? I'm not sure. But he shouldn't come to shul late. He shouldn't take big steps. When a person takes big steps, when a person is running, it takes away 1/500th of his eyesight. In other words, that stress, you're running, stress, it sounds like being balachatz, running places. It takes away your eyes, your eyesight, it damages your eyes. How should you fix it? He should say Kiddush on Friday night. Meaning, I guess when you say with extra kavanah, you should drink from the Kiddush cup. So the Mepharshim explained, because what was the sin? You were running. And the tikkun, the repair, is to say Kiddush on Al-Shabbat, Hashem made the whole world, Hashem made everything, Hashem is running the world. That takes care of your eyes. When it calms you down, you realize, wow, Shabbos, Menucha, Bos Shabbos Ba Menucha. That repairs your eyes. A person shouldn't walk upright, like arrogant, even if you take 4 steps outside, it's as if you pushed away the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you've pushed away the Ragla Shchen. Hashem is everywhere. If you realize Hashem is everywhere, how can you walk around like you're running the world? Like you're the king. So if you'd realize that Hashem's everywhere, you'd walk around humbly, like this. I don't know. It means a certain level of arrogance, walking around that if a person walks like that, he's doicher ragla shchina. You're showing people you don't believe that Hashem's right here, and Hashem's everywhere, Hashem's with us. I just want to end by saying, especially in time of war, we see that the nisim, the miracles are happening on a daily basis, 100 times a day. We see how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with us. Hashem's everywhere, Hashem's watching us, protecting us. It's unbelievable. The open miracles we're living and we're seeing. It's phenomenal. His miracles are everywhere in nature and in the way Hashem runs the world. How are we able to, a small nation, a couple of million people, a few million people, the entire Middle East wants us destroyed, millions of them, they spent billions of dollars and decades trying to wipe us out, and now they're wiped out. It's the most amazing, beautiful miracle ever. Certainly in my lifetime. Anyway, thank you very much. Be'ez Hashem will carry on tomorrow. I apologize to everyone for missing so many days. I had a wedding, we had Purim, hangovers, and everything involved with that. Hopefully Be'ez Hashem will be back. Lovely to see you all. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.